Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to take a safari. Yes, we are going to the Animal Kingdom and we're going to do the Kilimanjaro Safari. It is actually a lot of fun. You could get quite close to some of the animals there. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the views. Now, let's go.
Hello, friends. My name is Mackenzie, and I'll be your safari guide through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Just a couple safety reminders before we get this show on the road. Please remain fully seated at all times. That includes any little ones sitting in your lap. And also keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle. Now, with that out of the way, we already got the clearance, so we're good to head in. And our first stop will be here in the Little Aturi Forest. A lot of the animals here have very unique patterns on their fur that help them blend in. Great example are the bongos on the left there, the rust-colored antelopes with white stripes along their side. And on the right, way over in the bush, there's an okapi. Okapis kind of look like they're wearing zebra leggings, but they're not related. Actually, the only relative of the giraffe. Oh, and then there's two saddle-billed storks on the left. The pair there's a male with brown eyes, female with yellow. So they have a lifelong bond, and they are about 5 feet tall. I'll show you some of the largest stork in Africa. But you can see that, I actually don't know that. I think probably like into the teens. But the okapi there, they have white stripes on the bongos. There's one more animal in this forest that has similar stripes. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. It's thought the stripes on those animals are there to mimic the sun rays coming through the trees, help them blend in the camouflage. Now on the left there, looks like the black rhinos get a little snack on the hill there. It kind of looks like he's had spaghetti. Now black rhinos, they get to around 3,000 pounds. However, they are the smaller of the two African rhinoceros species. And they have the triangular shaped prehensile upper lip. You might have saw that. Prehensile means finger-like. So the rhinos can grab stuff with their lips, and the okapis and the antelopes can grab stuff with their tongue. There's another antelope coming up on our left called a greater kudu. They sort of look like a white-tailed deer, but they are 3 times the size. And since they are antelopes, they grow horns, not antlers. Main difference, horns have 1 point, while antlers have multiple. Now that was a female. The males are the ones that have the horns. Males on your spotting guide. On your head for reference. And now we're heading out of that forest, and at the bottom of this hill is the Safi River. Safi is Swahili for fresh, so we'll see some freshwater friends. Now down there is a colony of pigback pelicans on this first island there, and the hippo on the shore there. If you look kind of behind your right shoulder, an out hippopotamus came out. Now they spend most of the time in the water, but they do come out around nighttime because they are nocturnal.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
We'll see if we find any more hippos. Yeah, one looks look at the pelicans. They use their pouches, kind of like a net, to catch fish and swallow them whole.
Oh, you see the vultures?
If you're wondering about the vultures, they're visiting.
Oh man.
Just like us, you know? Now we're going to keep our eyes open for any more hippos. They can hold their breath for several minutes. So sometimes they fall asleep under there. Luckily, their body will naturally float up to the surface to get a breath without waking them. Just like how our body turns us in our sleep. I'll point them out if I see any floating around.
Nope. Nope.
Well, I'm not seeing any hippos, but we'll still keep our eyes open. There might be some neighbors around here. Looks like there are on the back wall, and then behind the trees there, not the trees, but bush, there are the Nile crocodiles.
Right there.
The largest reptilians in Africa. They get to around 500 pounds, 16 feet long. That's because they cannot internally regulate their body temperature. So if they get too hot, they'll go in the water. If they get too cold, they'll come out to sunbathe. Now we are heading out to the savannah, which is home to some very iconic animals, also some iconic plants, like this big weird tree coming up on our right. It's called the baobab tree. Oh, I see a cow running out there. But yeah, this is a baobab tree, sometimes called the upside down tree, because it kind of looks like somebody goofed up and planted them upside down. Now way out there you can see pretty far I saw, and in Coley cattle see some springboks. Now savannas have a lot less plant coverage, so that means the animals here have less places to hide. So they cannot rely on their camouflage to keep them as safe as the friends we saw earlier in the forest. Instead, savanna animals need to rely on their strength in numbers and their speed and agility. Now there is one of the top 10 fastest land animals coming up is the little teeny tiny antelopes on our right. Those are springboks, and they can pick up speeds of up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. That's because while they're running, they can spring up to 13 feet in the air. So they basically skip through the savanna. Now there's quite a few giraffes around. It looks like some Maasai giraffes. They don't get as fast, but they look like they run in slow motion with those long legs. You might notice that there is a baby over there too. A little one, about 9-month-old baby giraffe. Now this species is called the Maasai giraffe. They have darker and scratchier spots than the other 7 subspecies. And when they are full grown, they can get up to 20 feet tall. But that little guy, even though he is 9 months old, he is 11 feet tall. Now, they're all moseying on over there. Looks like they fall in the truck to get a snack. And they love to eat. A giraffe will spend most of their life eating. Since they have 4 chambers in their stomachs, it takes a lot of time to fill the stomachs. It takes even longer to digest their food. So they will literally spend about 20 hours a day chewing, swallowing, and regurgitating their food. I think one of them's helping herself out of the truck. Now we're gonna head over there, so hopefully we'll get a good view. There's some sable antelopes coming up on our left side, the dark brown ones. If you've ever been on the safari before, 9 times out of 10, they're right there. And that's because they're very territorial, and that's their land. So they have to defend it. They're actually one of the only antelopes that, given the choice between fight or flight, always choose fight. While most other antelopes will run away, sables stay on the ground. Oh, look at the whole tower is sharing a snack over here. That's what a group of giraffes is called, a tower, you know. Some of them are across the road. They're following the other truck, still following her. Look at them, they're beelining it for the... There's little baby giraffe sharing a snack. Mama giraffe is one of them walking away there. She dropped the kid off with the babysitters. And the little one, they can nurse for about a year, but he eats regular food too. The adult giraffes very rarely will sit. Just takes too much energy for an animal that big to sit down and then stand back up. So that means that usually they will be standing when they are asleep and also while they give birth. So the first thing a baby giraffe will experience is gravity. They drop about 6 feet to the ground. There's the springboks, real good view of the little guys. They kind of look like s'mores. Actually, the national animal of South Africa. And then there's the giraffes walking over. And pretty cool. Coming up is a baby cow. Not really. She's about 2 years old. And they just got here about a week ago. All 3 of the young ones just got here. But that big one back there has been here for a while. Whenever these cows are all full grown, their horns will get up to 4 feet long each. But they are surprisingly light. They have a honeycomb texture on the inside. So each horn only weighs about 5 to 7 pounds. Oh, and then I didn't even see the eland on the left. The two big buff antelopes sitting up there. They're the largest ones on this reserve, second in the world. And they're my favorite because male elands have a funny behavior of sticking their horns into plants to get them stuck on their head like a flower crown. And we don't know why they do that, but we think that's how they try to impress the ladies. Oh, and then on the right there, there's a herd of wildebeest. There's some up in the shade too. Wildebeest's name means wild beast. Some places they're called the new, GNU, because the sound they make sounds like new. And they're probably gonna get up pretty soon. They are crepuscular, which means they're more active during sunrises and sunsets to avoid the heat of the middle of the day. Giraffes, on the other hand, are active almost all day and all night because they only need 30 minutes of sleep a day.
Oh my God. I would have fainted.
The giraffes, I think they can get to about 20 years old. The ones that we have, they're pretty young. I think a couple of them are teenagers. But there's a lot of trees knocked down over here. So maybe we'll find some elephants. They do have a very wide range, so we'll keep looking, but sometimes if an elephant wants to eat the leaves on the top of the trees and they can't reach it, they use their tusks to knock the tree down to get a little snack. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. Actually, we don't know how old elephants can live to. It's not determined for most of them, because some have lived to 80 and some not as long, so we'll see. There's another area that we might spot some elephants, so we'll keep looking. I see some elephant poop, so a good sign there might be been here. Deposit over here. There's a good sign we might find more elephants because they love red clay. It's very high in sodium and they love salty snacks. So yeah, on the right you can see some tusk marks, evidence of the elephants digging in to get a little bite to eat. The clay there tastes good to them, I guess, but it also has a lot of nutrients, so it's healthy too. What'd you say back there about salt? I don't know what I don't know if that was a question for me. I can't hear very well. Anyway, wow, let's look at it. They do like to eat salt, and it's a good nutrition for animals like that. It's kind of like electrolyte too. But yeah, that's why they like to. They do. We have some salt licks out here for a lot of the animals. Now, I'm not seeing any elephants, but we will still keep looking. I do see the baobab trees, a big weird one I was talking about earlier. They have a couple of different nicknames. One of them is the tree of life. And that's because the trunk of the tree is full of water. The bark's kind of spongy to the touch. So animals will tear off the bark or poke holes into it to drink the water to get to it inside. And sometimes that's the only place they can find the water. Coming up is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. They're called the greater because they are the tallest flamingo. They're also the palest pink. But you kind of see it on their wings and their legs are much more flamboyant color. A lot of the flamingos are standing on one leg, and we don't know why they like to do that, but might be a way to give the other leg a rest or to keep them getting too cold. Ooh, look on your left, way back there, there's a baby elephant standing next to mom, way past them. Little one there is 2 years old. Oh, the little gray thing, that's actually an ibis, which is another visitor. It does look like a baby flamingo. But they're pretty tall when they're first born. But I hope that we get babies soon. I think the flamingos in the front of the park just had some little guys. Or maybe they're full grown now. Who knows? They grow very fast. But let's see if we can, oh yeah, you see the baby again. Okay. Now, we've been waiting a while for baby elephant. The gestation period is longer than any other land animal, and that means mama elephant was pregnant for 22 months. Whew. Hard pass. And the babies, they are born weighing up to 200 pounds. No thanks. Actually, I don't know. I think she's worth it. She's so cute. She's whenever they're 2 years old, that means that she weighs over 1,000 pounds and is probably 5 feet tall. Now I saw some mud, a big mud wall there. Oh, hello! On our left there's a cheetah. In the back, there's a couple. There's actually 5 over here. Looks like they're not sleeping. Like most cats, they love to chillax. But unlike most cats, cheetahs are more active during the day. This is when cheetahs have better eyesight, and they're very different to every other cat. That's one reason. Another is they have their claws out at all times to grip in the dirt as they run to get more traction. There's a couple more in this opposite corner there. They also cannot roar, but they can purr and meow, just like your house cat. They're one of the biggest cats that can do that. And now coming up, there are 2 big kitty cats that can roar. It looks like they're snoozing up on that rock. You see the 2 females sitting there. Now lions do roar every morning and every night instinctually to mark their territory. At a top volume, an adult can be heard from up to 5 miles around. They're pretty young though, so they're still working on a roar. Now we might catch up with them on the other side, depending on where she's going. So we'll go around the corner. Oh, and then looks like some rhinos are over here. Coming up on the right is a group of white rhinos. They're very social, always found in a crash. That's what the rhinos is called. And they get to around 6,000 pounds, which is twice the size of the other African rhinoceros. Now we're gonna go see him again around this other copy. And there's caught up with her again. You see the male's hair sticking out down the ramp. See, he's still sleeping. She's like, wake up. It's roaring time. They're siblings. They're about 3 years old, so kind of like equivalent of teenagers. You can tell that based on the color of the male's mane. If you saw it, it's blonde still. As lions age, their hair will darken, so you have red, black, or brown manes. Oh, hello. Here's the rhinos. Pretty close up. An ostrich just crossed the road up ahead, too. So I'll see them in a second. Now, I'm going to let you guys know a little known rhino fact. No other safari driver knows this fact. Rhinos are my mom's favorite animal. It's true. Yes, I am. I asked her when I was a kid, and she was like, I don't know, rhinos. But now, she watched a documentary about them recently. It's called The Last Rhino, a bummer documentary. She cried. She called me and she said, I love rhinos so much, I swear, even though I lied to you as a kid. Anyway, look at these ostriches. Oh. I'm gonna cut you off. Sorry, bud. I think she wants to go stand and block traffic in the road over here. But yeah, that's the female. She's got gray feathers. And they have the biggest eyeballs of any land animal and the prettiest little eyelashes. And they like to look at these chains and block the road. Because the chains are pretty sparkly. Now, Scotty Glenn, this is where the warden's post is. If you saw those humans out there, those are the wardens, and it's their job to protect and take care of all the animals out here. And the little goats, they're right here. These are Nigerian dwarf goats, and they're a little bit smaller than most, about 3 feet tall. They have a real good sense of balance. Rhinos are soft. Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. They have hair, so it's very coarse hair. They're probably not as soft as these goats are, though. I imagine it's like a leather couch. Kind of leather couch. Ooh, anyway, vegan leather couch. I've never pet a rhino. They won't let me. Pleather. There we go. That's a good question. I'm sure it's very similar. They both have their skin's about an inch thick and very tough, but also very sensitive. I assume it would probably feel the same. They're both pachyderms, which means thick skin. Wow. I'm sorry, you guys are asking questions that either I don't know or not approved. Well, you know, my windows are always open, so if you want to ask some questions after the safari, I'll make up some answers. Now, it looks like we're about to part ways, so I guess we should say goodbye.
Friends, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you will not miss another fantastic video from our channel. Please also leave a comment or share this video with your social media friends, as it will help our channel. With that said, we would like to thank you, and we hope that you will have a fantastic and a magical day.